obviously we're here at Bitcoin Vegas, and we do have the Bitcoin product. It generates additional returns in Bitcoin. So if there's market volatility, it actually does better, and it aggregates more Bitcoin than if the market trends sideways. So I'm all for volatility in Bitcoin for that product, and to be able to aggregate more Bitcoin for the clients that want to participate in that opportunity. Trump signed crypto EO executive order, which in Section 5 says government can acquire wallets and keys. True. Yes. I don't like. I'm going to take a drink real quick. People think that the government can't come take your stuff. They can subpoena the cold wallet provider that you have and get the keys to your wallet. Just because you lost it in a boating accident doesn't mean that they can't come take it from you if they need to. Microsoft has the software to be able to trace every crypto transaction on every blockchain back to its origin. They know exactly who owned it, for how long, when, what they bought it for, all of it. So anything about, you being able to evade the government or any of this or that, it's not true. Now, can they block transactions on the blockchain? No. You can send it to another wallet. You can do some other stuff with it. They can blacklist your wallet on the XRPL, but they can't freeze it. They can't claw it back. That's the other reason that I encourage people to set up a corporation. Because if you look in there, they can come after individuals. If you have your assets held in a corporation, it's going to be much more difficult for them to, do those things. So, not say that it's impossible. It could still happen. The U.S. government's going to get theirs, right? But all that being said, anything that you can do to mitigate those risks is probably a good thing, and that's why structuring your assets in a corporation is going to be ideal over the long term, in my personal opinion. Boomer Sooner, he says, anything to report on IRA rollovers to UWP? Just curious, Carbon One member, UWP client. So thanks for all the information you share with us on all the platforms. Absolutely. We are working on a really good promotion for the IRA products. If you wanted to roll an IRA to us, you absolutely can. We're looking at a way to be able to, reduce those fees or remove those fees, at least for a period of time, on those accounts to make sure that you're generating returns in the product that we have there that aggregates more XRP. We're also looking at creating additional products alongside that does the same thing for XLM, HBAR, XDC, Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum. We have an algorithmic trading strategy that compounds your XRP inside of those accounts. So if you have XRP and you want more XRP inside your retirement account, you want a passive strategy to be able to do that, I think what we put together is a good opportunity for that. I do have disclaimers around that. Previous performance is not indicative of future returns. There are risks associated with that investment, and losses are possible. So just want to make people aware of that. I have to state those things. But again, we put that together. So far, I think we're up about 1% on those accounts that have enrolled in that product. All right. This person says Carbon One Mastermind. Awesome, dude. Bought the trust in the LLC last December. Got the LLC finished with Laughlin. Still haven't done the trust due to living life things. Best way to complete the trust moving forward. Fund the LLC. Thanks. Just reach out to our team. Schedule a time. One of our people will be happy to get on the call with you and knock that out and make sure that it's done the right way. Just email support@digitalfamilyoffice.io, and our team there will be able to schedule a time with you to help you get that across the line, my man. Appreciate the support and working with us and the trust that you've instilled in us. All right. We got Fishing Hard. They say, hey, Coach, given Flare smart contracts are currently paying 0.03% through the Zama wallet, what are your thoughts on Nero, I'm assuming you mean Nexo, for gains on your XRP? I don't talk bad about people. I like Flare. I like those guys. We talk to them pretty frequently. Excited about what they're doing over there. I think it's great that they've integrated that with Zaman. There are risks associated with that, just like any other investment. So just want to make sure you understand those before participating or putting your entire XRP position in that product. As far as Nexo goes, how do I say this? We met with Nexo. I've used Nexo in the past. In 2021, 2022, when it was available here in the U.S., I borrowed against my XRP on that platform and actually did pretty well. Leveraged myself, which was not smart, but it worked out for me when I did it. But as far as like their returns and what the yield they pay on XRP, it's not something I will be participating in after meeting with them. So again, you should do your own research, go talk to somebody there, understand how they're generating the yield, and if it makes sense with your risk tolerance and everything, you're suitable for that product. And then if it is, then make an allocation, and if it's not, don't use it. It doesn't meet my suitability requirements personally. Victor says, Jake, small world. Your advisor, Clay Price, and I scheduled a follow-up on my LLC and trust. Turns out he worked at my company for years. Small world. You've got a great one. Appreciate all the info. Thank you, man. Victor. I will pass the flowers on to Clay, and excited he was able to help you, get things situated. And yes, very glad to have him over here at Digital Ascension Group. Leon, appreciate the super chat. I don't see any questions, but thank you. MT32 Loop, they say, greetings from Argentina. Any predictions on the BOJ meeting? 2027 is a year for price appreciation. You should go to the World Cup in June. I think 2026 is the year for price appreciation, personally. Just with everything that's going on, tokenization of the stock market, Monica Long coming out saying that full-scale institutional adoption of XRP would happen this year in 2026. Any predictions on the BOJ's meeting? I think that they're going to hold. I think that they're just going to sit where they're at. They're kind of backed into a corner. Now, I would love to be wrong and see them raise 75 basis points in the next few hours. But I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to wait on the Fed to do something. If the Fed lowers interest rates, that could actually kick the can a little bit on this. So it would weaken our dollar against the yen, or not the Japanese yen, which would help the Bank of Japan. We bought yen and some of their treasuries to be able to support their currency through the Fed. But yeah, I think if the Bank of Japan holds interest rates and the Fed were to drop 25 basis points, that's not enough to see the reverse carry trade unwind. You're going to need the Bank of Japan to raise interest rates fairly aggressively while the U.S. is dropping our interest rates, and that's what's going to cause the rotation. So just my 2 cents. I would love to be wrong. I would love for everything to just roll for it here. But I think May is probably the month with, again, the OCC needs guidance around stablecoins and the issuance of that in the banks before things can move forward here, because otherwise it's going to destabilize the bond market and bad things are going to happen. I don't think they're going to let that play out until they're ready. Tanisha, 2020, she says, hey Jake, when adding financials to the LLC, do you add all XRP or break it down into where it's stored? You would break it down into where it's stored, or you would move it all to one wallet before doing so. And the reason for that is you're adding the wallet address to the LLC. You're going to denote the wallet address, the asset, so XRP, the amount of the asset that's held in that wallet address, and the cost basis at which you purchased that XRP, all on your capital contributions page. All right, we are an hour and 10 in. Probably gonna hang out for another 20 minutes here, and we're gonna wrap it up tonight. So I'm gonna go to the bottom of the chat, and then we're gonna work our way back up. Leon, you already sent $15, man. You didn't have to send another one. He said, what are your thoughts on the new PACE Act, Payments Access and Customer Efficiency, introduced by Reps Kim and Licardo? Do you you see it impacting non-banks, fintechs, and potentially XRP Ripple's access to Fed payment rails like FedNow? I do. I think that it benefits all of the counterparties that you just mentioned based on the, again, surface level that I've scratched on that. I haven't gone into depth on the PACE Act to really understand all the language that's in there and everything that it entails. But based on the few posts that I've seen about it, Abs and Johnny, shout out to you guys over there at Good Evening Crypto. They've covered it. So if you want to go check out their channel, they broke it down pretty well. But yeah, it should benefit all of those people being able to access FedNow, like you mentioned, which would be great. King Kapua, they say, when trying to talk with other financial advisors about crypto, why do they say I can't have an opinion or on it about it or talk about it? Whoever is their backer, the IA that they work for, the investment advisory group, has told them that they're not allowed to discuss it. And most of the main reason is compliance. They don't have a compliance program around that. They don't understand the risks associated with it. If they do understand the risks associated with it, they don't have a way to be able to mitigate those risks, and so therefore they're not even going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. We actually provide a sub-advisory for other RIAs that need that. So if you want to talk to your guys and say, hey, you should talk to Digital Wealth Partners, they can help you, manage all of this and do the compliance for you and make sure that everything's done the right way. We would love to talk to them. So if you are a financial advisor, a financial advisor that's looking to be able to work with their clients on crypto, or you're holding crypto and they're doing the rest of your management, you want to continue to work with them, you have a strong relationship, they just don't do that piece. We would love an introduction to be able to help them facilitate that and make sure that it is all managed in one place and done correctly. But yeah, mostly just the compliance component around it. And again, because there's no full regulation, it's not a large enough value proposition for them to even mess with it. It's too much risk for the upside.